I'm just about to get started making these quilt blocks. So I had invited everybody from the Tilda Club to tonight, and I do it every Tuesday. We have a tutorial every Tuesday. And I also invited everybody from the Liberty League today. And I wanted to talk a little bit before we get started making the quilt blocks. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I choose fabrics for quilts and for quilt blocks. And let's see. Hi, Bonnie. And I'm not going to be able to see all of your comments all the time because my screen is actually in a different place. So when I look over there, I can't really see it. It's kind of a little ways away, but I will answer as soon as I see it. So what I wanted to do to illustrate how I choose fabrics for quilts is show you my Lucy Boston blocks. I've been using them a lot to illustrate the way I choose fabrics for bundles and for quilts because I take a lot of time when I am picking my Liberty fabrics to do my Lucy Boston blocks because Liberty is so precious that I want to make sure that whatever block I make, I really, really love. So I take a lot of time to pick out the fabrics that I'm going to make the blocks out of. So they make good illustrations for how I pick fabrics. So I'm just going to show you a few of the blocks and how I chose the fabrics for each of them. And so the blocks that I'm doing, I am using the Catherine Rowe print for the centers in different colors. So this is the one with the dark background. This is the one with the pink background. There's one with an aqua. I don't think I've used the aqua background one yet in any of my blocks. Let me see. No, just the pink and the dark one so far, but I'm using those for the centers, and I am fussy cutting the little rabbits and the little dogs and to make the blocks. And in this fabric, as you can see, this one has pears that are kind of a yellow color. It's got strawberries that are red. It's got some keys that are gold. It's got leaves that are purple. And so I'm choosing different fabrics that match the fabric that is kind of my focus fabric. And you can do the same thing. And I'm going to hold this up a little closer so you guys can see it better. And you can do the same thing with any quilt that you want to pick fabrics for. Choose a fabric that you really, really love, and that can be your focus fabric. It doesn't necessarily have to be in every block of the quilt. Maybe it's just your border fabric, or maybe it's just the center block of your quilt. But if you pick a fabric that you really love and then choose fabrics that go with that fabric, you're always going to have something that you really like. So, hi Anne, hi Becky, hi Sue. So that's what I do. So with this one, as you can see, there's red strawberries, so I chose some red fabric. There's yellow in the pears, so I chose some yellow fabric. There's a lot of blue in like the leaves, and if you see, let's see, let me find the little dog. So the dog has a little blue pillow that he's sitting on, and there's blue leaves in there. So I chose some blue fabric also because it matches some of what's going on in the background of this. And then I went dark, bright, light, and dark, just so that I have a lot of contrast and you can really see the design of this. This quilt block is called the, something that crosses. Goodness, why can't I think? Quilt of the Crosses, I think is what it's called. Anyway, so what you can see is you can see a cross here with the yellow and the cross in the center. And so that kind of just really has a good contrast and makes it really stand out well. So I did the same thing with this block. Here's the dogs, which I chose, and then this aqua blue color I chose for here. There's a mustard color here in these little flowers, and I used that here. And then these there's a little bit of red in this flower. You can't see the red on here, but there is red in this fabric. So I'm using a little bit of it there because when I put it with this, you can see it goes really nicely with the red here. Anyway, and then, so I've got dark, I've got light, I've got kind of a gold that kind of pops that yellow out of the center, and then I've got a dark again around the outside. And with this one, I went really bright, except for these darker ones. And so this has red, it has gold. This has a lot of green in the flowers. So I chose this darker one that has a lot of gold and green in it to match with those colors that are in there. And then the reds, I matched with these fabrics. And this one, as I said, it's hard to tell. It looks almost like it has a white background, but it's actually pink. And there's some little pink flowers, they're tulips. And so I chose pinks for this one. And then this aqua color goes with the, not aqua, but teal color goes with the teal leaves that are in here. And the pink and aqua go with the aqua and teal that are in there as well. And again, I chose a few more pinks so that it all goes together with this. I love this fabric. It's called Forbidden Fruit, and it's just got these lovely, almost like a lotus flower. And the pink and the purple, I just thought it was so pretty. And then it goes well with those pink tulips. And then we have the dark blue that goes really well with the blues that are in the butterflies that are in this fabric. So anyway, that's the way I choose fabrics. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about that, I did about an hour-and-a-half long video about it. Oh, it was probably about a year ago, and you can find that here on the page if you go look at the videos and go back a little ways. All about picking fabrics for quilts. And it's one of my most popular videos. So if you're interested in looking at more of that, you can do that. Thank you, Michelle. Hi, Laura. Hi, Tony. Hi, everybody. Hi, Donna. Okay, so now we're going to start the blocks. So what we have is, these are strips that are 1.5 inches by 7 inches long. And then for the second block, we have two of each of these fabrics, 2 1.5 inch squares, and then 2 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangles. And then the center, I fussy cut this little house, and that one is 2.5 inches square. So these strips, I'm going to cut them in half at 3.5 inches. And that's just so I can get, this is just going to be a simple 16 patch block. And by cutting these in half, I'm going to be able to get a little more diversity in my strips of strip piecing. So I'm just going to cut them in half, 3.5 inches, and then I'm going to lay them out. I'm just going to mix them up a little bit. I'm going to do light, dark, dark, and then I'll do the other light on top on this one. And that way they're a little bit different after I put them together. So we're just going to sew those together in strips. And then the first thing we're going to do on the second block is just put these little 4 squares together. And we might as well go ahead and put these ones together as well. So I want to make sure that I remember that this has to go this way and this has to go this way. So I'm going to sew on the left side of both of these. Just have to keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm just going to go over to the sewing machine and go ahead and get started sewing these. Hi, Kathy. So all I'm doing is taking these strips and here, let me put this camera over here. So I'm just taking these strips and I'm just going to sew them together. And I am a long ways away from the microphone. Sorry about that, you guys. Hold on just a sec. I'll move the microphone over. I always forget the microphone is all the way across the room. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is take these and sew them together on the left side, and then I'm going to sew these ones together. Now I'm going to sew these 4 strips together like this. No, wait, I have the light one on top, right? So like this. And then like this, right? Make sure I've got that right. Yeah. Okay, now we're just gonna press these ones. It's 1 a.m. in France, and somebody is an insomniac, I think, is what I'm reading here. And I have this really cool new gadget. This is a slice seam ripper, and it is a ceramic blade. So even though it's super sharp, I'm going to show you how close, show that close up. It's super sharp. I can't cut myself with it because it is really, oh, haha, guess what? I lied. I can cut myself with it. Anyway, don't look at that. They're usually really not, I guess, because it was really pointy. Yeah, it cut me all right. Okay, well, they lied to me. They told me I can't cut myself with it. Well, let me get something to get rid of the blood. Jeez. Hey, Lauren. Yeah. Can you get me a Band-Aid, please? What? A Band-Aid? Well, you guys, don't try that. Now we know better, don't we? I just don't want to get blood on my, it's not that bad of a cut. I just don't want to get blood on my fabric. Anyway. So I'm just going to press these. See, it's not even really bleeding. I just want to make sure it doesn't bleed on anything. Press these little squares. And I'm going to lay this out. So I want, let's see, I want the yellow one on top on this side and on the bottom on this side. Cut myself with my seam ripper.
Don't do that.
I know, it was very smart. So these are going to go like this.
This can be bigger. I take a picture of us showing how to do it.
Okay, now my husband's done surgery and put my Band-Aid on, so I can't get blood on my fabric. Okay. This reminds me of, have you guys seen that really funny video of the lady sewing and like everything she does, she messes up? I hope this isn't going to be one of those videos. Okay, and then she's like bleeding and like cutting herself and doing all kinds of stuff. Anyway. So I've just sewn these together in strips, and they don't have to be perfect because I made them a little bit long. So when we cut them apart, we can perfect them. Just like we did the other day with the other blocks that we made on Tuesday last week. Okay, so these ones are going to cut, and I am just going to get this nice and straight on the bottom, make sure it's straight here where it's sewn together, and make sure I have one really good straight side. And then I'm going to cut 1.5 inch strips from these. One. And two. Next one all the sideways. So my other ceramic blade, I can do that with my finger and never hurt myself. So I don't know why this one does that, but that's not good. I don't like that it cut me. Okay. So we have these, and because I mixed them up a little bit, now I can flip these around. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Maybe do this way. No, not that way. Do this way. And then there. So when you do that, then you can get like this nice little diagonal going right there. So now we're going to sew these 4 strips together, and that's going to make one of our 4.5 inch blocks. I'm going to sew these 3 pieces together and then sew them to these 2. I'm going to have to press these after I sew them together first, and then I'll sew them to those 2. So we'll go back and we'll go ahead and sew all of these. We'll sew this set, and then we'll sew those on after. Hi, Debbie. So the first thing I'm doing is sewing these 2 squares to, oops, guess I better switch over the camera, huh? You guys won't be able to see me. So I'm sewing these 2 squares to the center square. And I always put a pin in the end when I do that. Now I'm going to sew these strips together. And match up all of the seams. And then I'm going to sew this last strip together. And I'm making sure that my diagonal is matched up, because it would be just like me to sew it on the wrong direction. Okay, that one's done. Now I'm just going to add these other 2 squares to this side. Put a pin in the end like I always do. Nobody's talking. You gotta talk to me, you guys. Okay, so here is our little 16 patch. It came out so cute. I love these colors together. I mixed up the Maple Farm, the Dijon and Aqua, and the Blueberry all together. And I think they're so pretty. The Dijon and Aqua have a little bit of the blueberry color in them. So if you look at these, there's the blueberry in the center, and there's Aqua around the outside, and then it's the Dijon on the outside, and then this is the Aqua color background with a little bit of the blueberry in the flowers, and then there's a little Aqua in the flowers in the blueberry print. Anyway, I just think it's really pretty together. I love it. Let me see it close up. Okay, now I'm going to press these. fix that seam. It's a little sideways. Okay, so this is going to go together like this. I'm going to go put it on the machine and sew it up. I'm just putting this together and pinning it. You guys stop talking when I cut myself. I'm okay, I promise. Okay, so it's sewn on so that we have this little corner here on each side. We have to make sure when we put this one on that happens as well. Oh, hi, Laura. Yep, I do that every single time. It's so great using your square ruler as a carrying thing. It's really, really good. Okay, so here's our cute little house block. Let me get it pressed. There we go. It's all cute. See? So it's got a little brackets on each side. Won't that make a cute little house? Let me see. Let me see if I can find my little rooftop so I can show you how the house will look. Here's one. It'll be such a cute little house. I definitely need to square it up because I got this all sideways on the side, but that'll be cute. And then this one will be really cute too. Our little houses. So that's it for today, you guys. I'll see you on Thursday if you're in the club. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday back here on the same bat channel. Talk to you later. Bye.